Okay, welcome back to another revision video. Today's topic is everyday math or the word problems that usually come up in question number one. They'll have percentages, ratios, taxes, interest, and all those things. So this video is about practicing all of that. We'll come across lots of ideas, so please make sure that you keep track of what we are doing, and it should help you in your final exam. There is usually one question that is going to be there. It is usually 10 to 12 marks, so you will generally have this question there on the exam. Okay, so the first question is from, I think, June 19. We start off with June 19 and then we move forward from there. All the paper 2 instances. In 2017, Lauren had a monthly income of 1800. How much was her total income in 2017? So I'm telling you a monthly income and then I'm asking you for the yearly income. So that's just 1800 multiplied by 12, assuming that she gets paid every month. That's $21600. Okay, fairly simple. From her monthly expenses of 1800, Lauren paid the following. She pays rent, she pays bills, she pays for food, travel, clothes. Each month, Lauren saved the rest of her income. What percentage of 1800 did she save? So let's first find out her amount that she saved. So it's going to be all of these subtracted, or all of these added together and then subtracted. You don't really need to show the calculation. You can just do it on your calculator. 1800 minus 500 minus 250 minus 120 minus 240 minus 70. Okay, so I hope I subtracted everything. 120, 240, 70. Okay, 620. So that's 620. Now, whenever it says what percentage of, so whatever quantity is written after of is the denominator. The off quantity comes in the denominator. Okay, what percentage did she save? So I'm trying to convert the savings into a percentage. So I'm going to say 620 divided by 1800 multiplied by 100. I don't need to do this manually. I can put it on a calculator. The calculator is going to give me a final answer, and it's 34.4%. Fairly simple. The percentage sign is already there, so you can just write 34.4, and that's percentage sign is there. Okay, Lauren's monthly income was increased by 3.6%. Calculate the new monthly rent was increased by 3.6%. So rent was $500. Now I have a particular way of dealing with these increase and decrease questions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend some time and try to teach you that method. So what I generally say is that whenever there's an increase decrease question, I can say that I follow this equation. I've written original multiplied by multiplier equals to final. Now original is the value that was there originally, 500. Okay, final is what I'm looking for, so I'm going to write an x. Okay, what is the multiplier? It's the value that you obtain by adding the increase or decrease to 100%. So let's say you had a 10% increase. In that case, the multiplier would be 110% would be your multiplier. Let's say you had a 5% decrease. The multiplier would then be 95%. So if you put up multipliers like that, the question solves itself. And this is a useful technique later on. You will find that it helps me, sort of do those backward calculations without thinking about as to what number I have to apply a percentage on. So I can just simply say that this is going to be 103.6%. 103.6% means 103.6 divided by 100. I know my calculator can again handle the percentage sign as well. So I'm putting it on a calculator and I get 518. I could have also done it step by step, but I am doing this. Why? Because I want you to understand the next question. It says in 2017, Lauren's monthly income of 1800 was 25% less than her monthly income in 2016. So what happened from 2016 to 2017? There was a decrease of how much? There was a decrease of 25%. So I can say that my multiplier would be 75% in this case. It's always 100 plus minus the change. Okay, so I'm going to say that I don't know my original. Let's write down original multiplied by multiplier equals to final. So what is my original value? I don't know my original value, that's what I'm looking for. I know my final value, that was in 2017. So the later value is always the final value. Okay, and my multiplier is 75%, 25% decrease. So I can just say that this is 1800 divided by 75%. I can put this entire thing on a calculator as it is. The calculator can again write the percentages, so you should do that. And it gives me 2400. So fair and simple. Let's check our answers. 21600, 34.4518. I've not written here. And 2400. Okay, let's quickly move on to the next question. It says the table shows the cost to visit a zoo, and adult, and then child from 5 to 16, and child under 5 is free, so I don't really need to pay attention to this. On 30th April, Mrs. and Mrs. Ferrugio and their 3 children aged 12 and 8. So there were 2 adults, and although there were 3 children, this one was free and this one was charged. Okay, 2 children. Okay, visit the zoo. What is the total cost for the family? So I can say that it's simply 2 into 26 plus 2 into 15.5. What does that give me? 2 into 26 is 52. 52 plus 2 into 15.5 is 31. 31 plus 52 is 83. Simple enough. So 1 mark. In May, the cost for a child is not changed. The cost for an adult is reduced by P% to 22.1. So this went on and got reduced to 22.10. So there was a percentage change. I'm asking you, what was that percentage change? So percentage change is simply final minus original divided by the original value multiplied by 100. So final, that was 22.1, original, which was 26, the original is 26, multiplied by 100. Okay, so 22.1 minus 26 divided by 26. So that is negative 15%. So I'm saying that's a reduction. So P is therefore 15. Percentage is already there. In May, the Ferrugio family visits the zoo again. Calculate the percentage reduction in the total cost from April to May. So total cost again, calculate the total cost is 2 into 22.1 minus 2 into 15.5. Plus 2 into 22.1 plus 2 into 15.5. That's 75.2. It was 83 and now it's 75.2. So percentage change again is the final value minus the original value divided by the original value multiplied by 100. And that's giving me minus 9.3976. So if I round out off to 3 significant figures, it gives me minus 9.40, and that should be 9.40. Percentage is already there. Then part C. This is a long question. It says the Ferrugio family arrived at the zoo at 10:50. They stayed at the zoo until 4:25. That's a long stay. How long in hours and minutes? So what I generally tend to do in these questions is to count them manually. First I go on to 11 nearest hour first, so that was about 10 minutes. Then I start counting the hours. Okay, so 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've reached 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 hours. Okay, so that's 5 hours and 10 minutes so far, and I have spent another 25 minutes to reach 4:25. So what does that give me? It gives me hours and 35 minutes. Okay, do that step by step. It makes it easier. You can also count on your fingers, or people have a habit of counting directly as well. Directly, sort of addition and subtraction bothers me a little because you have to go up to 12 and then, start off counting again rather than, ending up in 10 and then adding up. Or you could convert it into, a 24-hour clock. That makes it easier as well. And then subtraction is valid, so you can do that too. Okay, so zoo holds daily shows about different animals. The Firoga family go to as many shows as they can during their visit. Okay, so they arrived at 10:50, so they obviously missed the giraffe. Okay, each show lasts 35 minutes. How many minutes do they spend at these shows? Okay, so they start off with this. This show is 35 minutes, so they go on and spend 35 minutes there. They go on to this one as well. They probably go to this one as well. And they go to this one as well. And this next one starts at 4:30, so they've already left the zoo by then because they leave at 4:25. So that's 35 multiplied by 4. What do you get? 140 minutes. Why is this question there? It's just a really basic question and has a lot of marks too. Let's check if we got it right. Okay, starting 83.0, 15, 9.40, 83.0, 15, 9.40, 5 hours, 35 minutes, and all of these are correct. Okay, moving on. Nima travels on a business trip. The total cost of her flight is 406, including tax. The cost of the flight, including tax, is $350. Excluding tax is $350, which means that there was about $56 in tax. Calculate the tax as a percentage of 350. So let's find out the tax first. I just told you that it's 56. I just subtracted the two mentally. So if I want to make the tax a percentage of 350, so if you to keep the tax in the numerator, 350 in the denominator, and multiply it by 100. So 56 divided by 350. 350. What am I doing? 56 divided by 350 multiplied by 100. Okay, that's 16%. Okay. Nima takes a suitcase with mass 15.5, correct to the nearest 0.25 kgs. She also takes 6 packets, each with mass 1.2 kgs, correct to the nearest 0.1 kg. She has a luggage limit of exactly 23 kgs for the flight. Can Nima be certain of the mass in her luggage is below the limit? So this question is about estimation and upper bounds and lower bounds. So approximations basically. So that is what you have to do here. Now since this video is not about that, I'm going to try to be as precise as possible and explain it to you, but you should watch the entire video on upper bounds and lower bounds for a better idea of the topic. Okay, Nima takes a suitcase with mass 15.4, correct to the nearest 0.5 kg. So what you do is you always add half the degree of accuracy, so you multiply it with half. What do you get? You get 0.25. Okay, and you get 0.25. So, and she also takes 6 packets with mass 1.2 kgs, and if you multiply this by half, you get 0.05. Okay, so you've halved both the degree of accuracy. So upper bound is basically the value that you've estimated plus the degree of accuracy. That's the maximum that it could go if it was rounded off to the nearest 0.5 kg. Okay, she has a luggage limit of exactly 23 kg. So what I'm trying to find is that what could her maximum weight be? Okay, so I can say that 15.5 plus 0.25, which is 15.75, that is the maximum weight of the suitcase. And she also takes 6 packets, so 6 into 1.2 plus 0.05. What does that give me? 6 into 1.2 plus 0.05, that you multiply first, and you multiply by 6, get 7.5. Okay, 15.75 plus 7.5, 23.25. 23.25. Okay, so no, she can't be certain. Why? Because her upper bound of total weight is 23.25 kgs. Okay. Then this next part is about currencies. Let's try to do currencies as well in this. You see the questions are mixed up, and that's how you're going to come across the first question. Sometimes it's 10 marks, sometimes it's lesser. It depends on the examiner, since there's no more choice. Otherwise, previously those marks had to be generally were equal, but now it's no longer the case. Nima changes $245 to euros. For the trip, the exchange rate is $1 equals to 0.73. On the trip she spends 124. Okay, 124 euros. First she changes dollars to euros. Okay, and then she spends euros. When she returns, she changes the remaining euros back to dollars at the rate of this. Calculate the amount of money she receives, giving your answer correct to the nearest dollar. So what I'm going to do is, first I'm going to change her dollars to euros. Okay, so I'm going to put down $245 and X euros. That's a cross multiplication then. Okay, so X gives me 24 in 245 into 0.73. Okay, that is 178.85. She had this many euros. She spent how much? She spent 124. So she got rid of 124. What is left? That's 54.85. Now she wants to do what? She wants to change it back. Okay, so 54.76 is here. 54.85, sorry, where did I get 76 from? Okay, 54.85, and this is 0.76. Okay, it's X, so that's where 0.76 came in. So that's 54.85 equals to 0.76x. X equals to 54.85 divided by 0.76. And that gives me 72.171. So they asked to the nearest dollar. So I'm going to say that the nearest dollar is 72. So that's how much she ends up getting for her money back. So she took $245, ended up back with $72. There are other ways of doing the question as well. Some people tend to, sort of start backwards and then try to make the reverse calculation. So that's absolutely fine. Okay. On her next trip, Nima hires a car. She drives a total of 657 kilometers. So that's sort of the distance. Her car uses fuel at a rate of 4.3 per 100 kilometers driven. Okay. So Nima pays $1.29 per liter of fuel. Calculate the amount she fails. So I'm trying to find the amount of fuel. So what I have to do is 1.29 multiplied by the number of liters. So my task is to calculate the number of liters that she consumed. Okay, so you have to do this step by step. Okay, so the first thing that I would do is I would say that I know that she drew 4.3 liters is required for 100 kilometers. How many kilometers did I drive? I drove for 657. So I'm going to write X here. So 4.3 into 657 equals to 100x. Divided by 100. Okay, so I get 28.251. I'm going to take that. That's the number of liters. So 1.29 multiplied by 28.251. It's important not to rush through these questions. You see, it's a 3-mark question. You have about 6 minutes to do it. So take your time. Don't try to construct, randomly start multiplying and dividing. I've seen a lot of people do that. So that's 36.44379. And round off to correct to 3 significant figures. So $36.4. I hope that's the correct calculation. Let's quickly verify if I'm not. It says 44. Does it say anywhere that I need to it doesn't say so. That's weird. So 36.44, maybe because it's dollars and cents and so on. Okay. Yeah. Nina stays in a hotel for 7 nights. This is the total bill. Okay, so 7 nights at dash per night 805. So what was the cost of one night? Can you simply say 805 divided by 7? So that's $115. Let's keep filling in. It says complete the missing values at the bottom. So we'll start filling in. 4 dinners at this each, and I don't know the total. Total before tax is also something that I don't know. And total including tax is 1996. So what I need to do is I need to work backwards. Now tax acts like an increase. Whatever I told you about the multiplier is also true about taxes and profits and so on. So I can just say that there's an original value that got multiplied for tax and which gave me a final value after adding up the tax. How much was the tax? It was 6.5%. It works like an increase, so 106.5%. What's the final value? 996.84. Okay, so 996.84 divided by 106.5%. I have the percentage sign with me. So X gives me 936. So her total before tax would be 936. What's the difference between her total and the cost of the room? That's 805. So that gives me the cost of the dinner. So 131. These were 4 dinners. So divide by 4. It gives me 32.75 each. Simple calculations. Nothing very strange about them. A good, easy 4 marks. Okay. Yeah. All those calculations are there. 36.44, 72, and 23.25. I'm just checking my answers. Yeah. Okay. So next question. Tanya owns a small business. Tanya has 4 employees. Every week the employees each work for 7.703 over 4. I have a habit of converting those into decimals because they're easy to put on a calculator. 7.575 hours each day for 5 days. Each employee is paid $15.20 per hour. Okay, calculate the total amount Tanya pays her 4 employees in 1 week. So it's 4 multiplied by the hours per day, multiplied by the days, and then multiplied by the hourly rate. So I have to multiply all of them. 4 into 7.75 into 5 into 15.2. That gives me 2,356. The business made a profit of 25,700 in 2017 and compared with 22,102 in 2018. So the profit went down. Calculate the percentage decrease. The percentage change is simple. It's final minus the original divided by the original, which is 25,700 multiplied by 100. Remember, it's not always that the denominator will be the larger number or the smaller number. It depends on whatever the question is telling you. So I'm getting minus 14%. So it's asking you for the percentage decrease. I'm just going to say 14% is already there. Then it says Tanya must add 8% sales tax to the initial cost of a job. She then adds okay, there's no question about the job so far. So okay, 8% sales tax to the initial cost of a job. She then adds 15% to the cost including sales tax to find the amount to charge to the client. Tanya charges one client a total of 465.75 for a job. Calculate the initial cost. Now you see how the multiplier will help you. You see I am doing 2 increases. The first increase is 8%, so I'm going to say that this makes it 108%. Then the second increase is 15%. So I'm going to say that the multiplier is always 100 plus minus the change. So there's a second multiplier that's 115%. That gives her her final value that she wants to charge to the client. So I'm going to just write it like I wrote before. I don't need to show the examiner every calculation. I can just write it in one line and come up with the final answer. I can say that there's an original value that I don't know, There was the first multiplier 108%. There was a second multiplier that was 115%. And that gave her the final value 465.75. You can just do this on a calculator. You don't need to do anything manually. 108%, 115%. Okay. 465.75 divided by 108% and 115%. That gives me 375. That tells me that the answer is right because it came out as a whole number without making things more complicated. Okay, simple solution. Okay, then it says Tanya invests 1,500 in an account paying 3.1% per year compound interest. At the end of 5 years, she takes $9,300 from the account to buy new equipment for the business. Calculate how much money is left in the account. So I want to find out how much money got accumulated first. So the formula for compound interest is amount at end is simply P into 1 plus R power T, where P is the principal value, the original value 8,500, 1 plus R, so that's 3.1%, and the time is 5 years. So 1.031 power 5. So 9901.7567. That was the amount that she had. How much did she take out? She took out $9,300. So how much does she have remaining? Rounded off correct to 3 significant figures is $602. So that's my final answer then. Let's check quickly. I don't know why these answers are not rounded off correct to 3 significant figures. That's weird. Okay, any number between this. So maybe because it's dollars and I need to, sort of give my answers in dollars and cents. I'll have to check that. Just give me a quick moment to check. What paper is this? November 19. Okay, just a moment. Okay, so our answer is fine. Yeah, back to 3 significant figures is fine. Okay. So the next question then. Okay, it says Anton invests $600 in an account for 5 years. The account has a compound interest rate of 2.5% per year. At the end of 5 years, he spends $4,200 of the money on a family holiday to Malaysia. So again, amount at end is 6,000 as the initial 1 plus 2.5% power 5. Put that on a calculator. Put the percentage as it is. Power 5. So he had 6788.45. He spent 4,200. So let's subtract that. And I have 2588.45. Okay, so I can just, write 2590. I hope that's rounded off correct to 3 significant figures. 2590. Okay, yeah, that's the correct answer. Anton changes $800 into Malaysian ringgits for his trip. The exchange rate is a dollar is 3.16 ringgits, and he spends 2250 and changes the money back into dollars. Same question as we did before. Let's try to do that quickly. So $1, 3.16, $800, x, cross multiply. So 800 into 3.16, x equals to 2528. Okay, he spends 2250. So what is he left with? 278. He wants to change that back. $278. Okay, x. So 278 equals to 3.27x, and x equals to 278 divided by 3.27. That gives me 85.02. So correct to the nearest dollars is just $85. Okay. There's again a 3-mark question. Then it says Anton invests $1,500 into another account. The account has a compound interest rate of 5% per year. At the end of 3 years, the amount in the account is this. Calculate P. So I'm just asking you to do one of the reverse calculations. Amount at end is 1,500. This time it says 1 plus P%, power 5, 3, power 3. Yep, power 3. So that is 1598.85. That's the amount at end that's been accumulated. What you're going to do is simple. You're first going to remove 1,500 from here, divide it. Then how do you remove a cube? You take a cube root on both sides. So a cube root on both sides. So that gives you what? Let's put that on a calculator. Cube root of 1598.85. Again, you can do everything on a calculator in one go rather than, trying to break it up. It gives me 1.0215, and that's 1 plus P%. So P% is therefore 1.0215 minus 1. It's P over 100. So 0.0215. That gives me 2.15 equals to P. So that's the value for P, 2.15, cross multiplying 100. Okay, fairly simple. Yeah, 852590, all of those are correct. Let's move on to the next question. It says Stefan had an annual income of 21500. His annual income increased to this. Calculate the percentage increase. So the percentage change is basically final minus original over the original multiplied by 100. That's 6%. 7 invests 1260 in a bank account. The bank pays simple interest. Back to simple interest. Calculate the amount Stefan had in the bank at the end of 3 years. So I'm going to say that first I'm going to calculate the simple interest. You must have done PRT. So I'm going to use that principal, rate, and time. So 1260 into 2.5% into 3. So the amount of interest that he received was 94.5. So what's the total amount? 1260 plus 94.5. I get 1354.5. There's this Stefan changes 4,300 Indian rupees into dollars. The exchange rate is this. Calculate how much he receives. That's, I think, so fairly simple. So 4,300 and an X here. Cross multiply equals to, so X 4,300 divided by 67.8. You get 63.42. Correct to the nearest dollar, so that's $63. 1354.5. Yeah. Okay, and 6%. Yeah, all of those are correct answers. Let's look at the next question. Just halfway through, not even halfway through the entire number of questions that we have. We are up to November 20, which means we've done about 4 and 6 and 7th question right now. Okay, here are some information about a holiday, a 7-night holiday, $340 per person, 8% discount if you book before 31st March. On February 15th, Naseem books this holiday for 2 people. Okay, so then to 2. And he books it on 15 Feb, so he gets a discount. So a discount works in the same way that an increase worked. So I'm going to say that it's the multiplier is 92%. Okay, so what was the original value? The original value was 342 into 2, 340 into 2, but he got a discount. He got 92%, so that's original and multiplier. And I'm trying to find the final. So the final is 340 into 2 into 0.92, 625.6. Yeah, I think that should work. Yeah. It's an exact value, so I'm just going to write 625.6. Naseem hires a car for his holiday. The total cost is 241.5. This total cost includes 15% tax. Tax works like an increase, so something got increased to 115%. So I'm going to say that it's again original into multiplier equals to final. So 115%. What got increased? The original got increased. The final cost was 241.5. I know that's the after tax cost. So 241.5 divided by 115%. So that gives me 210. Okay, moving on quickly. It says Naseem drives a total of 800 kilometers on a holiday. He uses a total of 29.6 liters of fuel. Calculate the average rate of fuel used in liters per 100 kilometers. So how much? What I need is liters per 100 kilometers. So what I basically need is a ratio of liters and kilometers. So that's 29.6. I want 100 kilometers. So how much did you use for 100 kilometers? I'm just going to cross multiply that and get you a final answer. So that's 2960 800x. So 82960 divided by 800. That is 3.7. So 3.7 liters per 100 kilometers. It's a very good average. Okay. Naseem changes $450 to euros for his holiday. The exchange rate between dollars and euros is this. On holiday, he spends 297 euros. Naseem returns the remaining money back to dollars when he returns home. The exchange rate is now this. Work out how many dollars he receives. So two-step question. All of these are two-step questions, to be honest. So $450 into euros first. So how much does he get? 450 into 0.82. 369. He spends 297. 72 remaining. Take this 72, put it onto the new ratio. So those are euros, so 72x. So that's going to be 72 equals to 0.80x 90. Okay, fairly simple. Take it 210 and I got 65.6. Yep, those are all the correct answers. Okay, this says the cash price of a car is $13,000. Marta pays in installments. I think this one is a long question. Okay, Marta pays in dollars in installments for this car. Marta pays a deposit of 15% of the cash price. So you should pay 15% of this. What's 15% of this? Let's do our calculations without even, getting into it, so that we have it handy when we reach that part. So 1950 is a deposit. So 1950 is a deposit. She then pays 24 monthly installments of 24,500. Calculate the total amount Martha pays. So 1950 plus 500 times 24. What's 500 times 24? That's 12,000, and then she pays 1950 as well. So she pays a total of 13950. So paying in the installment costs her more, and that is how usually installments work. The price of the phone is reduced by 12% in the sale. The sale price of the phone is $286. Okay, so original multiplier final. Original is something that I don't know before the sale. So, okay. The multiplier is 88%, 100 minus 12. The final is 286. So 286 divided by 88%. That is 325. I'm doing all of this on a calculator. I don't need to do all of this manually. My additions, just, calculations are supposed to be done on a calculator. Okay, the exchange rate between dollars and this, the exchange rate between euros and pounds is this. Okay, so that is an interesting question. A lot of people find this difficult to do, but I'm going to just, sort of construct a ratio of 3. Okay, so I'm going to say that dollars 1, 0.71 pounds, and then 1 euro is basically 0.87 pounds. Okay, so I've written like that. Remember, now I want dollars to euros. If you want to eliminate this line from the middle, what you do is just, if you've written it in the correct format, you just multiply diagonally. What do you get? You get 0.87 and you get 0.71. Okay, that is dollars to euros. Okay, $0.87 gets you 0.71 euros. What I've done is I sort of created an equivalency between dollars and euros. It says calculate the exchange rate between dollars and euros, which means that dollar has to be 1. Now you can place a 1 and you can place an x, and then you can sort of cross multiply again. So 0.87x equals to 0.71. So x equals to 0.71 divided by 0.87. Remember that if you want to eliminate something in the middle out of two ratios, you do this. So that's 0.82. It was coming out to be 0.816. So 0.82. It's 82. Okay, Samuel invests $1,500 in an account, paying fine 1.9% per year compound interest. Okay, Nina invests at simple interest. They each leave the money in their account for 5 years. At the end of 5 years, how much more money does Samuel have than Nina does? Okay, Samuel. So amount at end is P 1 plus R power T. So that's Samuel. I think he has 1648.02. Okay, Nina. Nina has a simple interest. So we'll first calculate the simple interest. P or T. 142.5. So total 1642.5. How much more? 1648.02, 1642.5, 5.52. Okay, let's check our answers. 5.52, 0.82, 325, and 13950. Okay, that's the end of this video. I will be back with another video for word problems and everyday maths. Please keep watching out for the videos. Subscribe and press the bell icon to get notifications and reminders. Thank you.